Hello everyone, Miraj here, and today I will review one of the game that I won with Nature's Gift Devotion. Um, it's an interesting game. It's against Skellige Blaze of Glory, so one of the meta decks, and I will try to show you how to play against this deck. What's the thought process behind the moves, and in these gameplays, I will show you both some games that goes how it should, and also many games that are tough and um, the opponent is just countering a lot of plays that you do, so that you can see also when things are tough. You can see what you can do actually, and still try to play as optimally as possible. I will also show you some losses in other videos because also those are very important to analyze. Maybe even more important than to analyze. But let's jump into the game actually. So here we are against Skellige Blaze of Glory, as I said. And the first thing that you have to think about is what both decks are trying to achieve. So in this matchup, we know that obviously the Blaze of Glory player has the uh, iced combo uh, that is capable to do a lot of points in a very short round. So it's like it's iced plus leader by themselves can be like 29 points in a short round if they get the full value. So definitely the Skellige player will try to play a short a round three that is as short as possible. While by my part, I'm playing the Choose Gift Devotion. I'm definitely on the strong side in the long round. So my main goal will be to win the first round, then pass with as many cards as possible and go for a very long round three, where hopefully I will uh, get the defender down, protect my engine, and develop many more points than he is able to answer even with the Eist plus leader combo. Before starting uh, the replay, actually, you can also check the deck list in the description below if you are curious what there is inside exactly. Uh, let's move on now. So, um, as I said, this is the main game plan by both the players. I'm on red coin, so definitely I'm a little bit more relaxed. But the problem here is that with the blue coin, my opponent is more likely to win the first round, and that's something that I don't want him to do. So here I just mulligan away some options that I think it will be a little bit too much. I have already one um, abandoned girl, so I don't feel like keeping the second one. And in this spot, I want to have a good hand, but not too good, because investing too much in round one is very bad for me. I just mulligan accordingly, and here I can also kick one of the tutor because investing both the Call of the Forest and the Ice Green Council is maybe too much for the first round. Also, the Ice Green Council in the first round is weaker because we have the 8-9 in the first form. We didn't thin the deck, so we don't know actually what we get. Our opponent starts very aggressively with the Svalbard Totem. It's also one of his proactive moves. So nothing here to say more. And now my thought process is that with the stratagem here, um, he can actually do a lot of damage with um, Coral. So I would like to play the Abandoned Girl immediately, but I think I cannot because if he plays Coral, then he discards one um, with the stratagem. Then he discards another one with the coral, and the two random pings will always hit the abandoned girl. So efficiently removing my engine. So definitely this is not an option for the first turn. But the Hamadryad, actually it is obviously Hamadryad plus leader charge. We have a 6 on the board, difficult to answer. There is no coral, so we can definitely go for that. As planned, I just go for the Hamadryad plus charge. I can invest a little bit more in the first round if I can get round control. I don't mind to do so. So now we expect nevertheless the coral because otherwise they will lose value on the discard stuff. So they play the coral. He immediately also decide obviously to activate the effect, discard, get the skirmisher out, get also active to activate the stratagem. So actually a lot of points here, as you can see. I decide to play the Abandoned Girl now, because now, even if he has the Birna, he has to high roll to actually destroy the Hamadryad. Both pings from the coral must go to the Hamadryad. Unfortunately, I'm a little bit unfortunate here. Not only he get my Hamadryad, but also he has all the skirmisher in hand, and also the Morkbark. So a lot of points here, a little bit too much. Now I have to understand what to do. I decide to go on because I think here I can just play also a lot of cards, even go one card down if now he decides to pass. But still, then the second round just pass and go for a long round 3 where I have the best possibility to actually win the game. But he has some other plays to go for, like the Jaime's Cold, which is very good for him, just a thinning tool. He can develop something very, very cheap without losing the lead. And now it's a tough situation for me because the first round is pretty much lost. I cannot invest anything more because catch up that many points, I have to play a lot of cards or a lot of very, very valuable cards and still go down one card. So after pondering a while, I finally came to the conclusion that I needed to pass. So you see here, I just pass and prepare to defend the bleeding. And it will be very tough to actually win against this deck in a short round 3. So let's go for the mulligan in the second phase. Here I want a slightly better hand, so I just mulligan the Friar-Headed Dragoon. I don't think the Harald Gord will be necessary, so I want to mulligan it, find something else. I find the Freixenet, which is very, very good. And now the key part here is to respect your opponent. We are with 10 cards, so we can actually going for one Abandoned Girl before going too deep. Because our opponent, after playing the Brockvar Hunter, as you can see, has 7 cards in hand. Still, he can think about passing. We are not sure about that. Obviously, we think he will not, but still, you have 9 cards in hand. We have 8 cards in hand, so we can just play patiently. And after I see my opponent committing the 7th card, I know that he will push deep for sure. And now we need to respect our opponent. So first thing that we do here is develop as many symbiosis as possible, and the Freixenet that we didn't invest in round 1 is perfect here. It's the perfect spot. We get the the Abandoned Girl to play. We get the 2 points here of carryover that will be very, very important for the third round. We also give 1 charge to the girl because, as I said before, the main thing here is we must respect our opponent. We do not need to just play cheap cards and not be able to stand the bleed. We have to respect our opponent. Now we are 10 points behind. Remember, we have also one charge here of the abandoned girl. He's trying to get the bloodthirst here. Maybe also I think about the 2-0. He can go for the 2-0 if the situation is good for him. I have to be careful, so I want to boost the units as much as to not get him bloodthirst, but I also want to boost them as much as so to not give him value from the leader plus Eist if possible. Here I go for the vitality on the 1-point siren because I think it's the most efficient thing to do right now. We are also ahead on points thanks to the vitality pings. Obviously, here we will try to get one card of advantage if the opportunity arises. Unfortunately, he goes for the Witcher and takes out one of our Amadryad. And now I need to play also my Serpent Trap, which will have suboptimal value, but we have to play it because now if he plays a special card, we have an 8 points of 8 points there online. So it's definitely the best opportunity to play it. If he passes now, which is perfectly doable for him, we will go even cards in the third round, but we cannot do anything about it. He continues to bleed us with the cheap units. We obviously don't want to give him any bloodthirst. We just go for the tampering onto the Dryad to get enough to get her out from removal range. We are also happy if he invests the Eist because we have very powerful cards here to answer. And if he invests the Eist, then he does not have more steam for the round 3. He invests the Tirgvi, which is not very optimal. It's a lot of points here, but the main thing that I fear is that after the Eist goes out, after the Rapture goes out, this Dryad will go at 3 strength, so it's hittable from another Witcher. So let's say he plays another Bear Witcher here. It hits this small Dryad that from the 4 points of the Rapture will go at 3 strength. It's too much effective as a removal. So I want to interrupt it. In this moment, I'm always also worried about the. Let's talk about a little bit more in depth here about the situation. So as I said, here he can remove the young Dryad efficiently with a Bear Witcher the next turn, while also getting a lot of points from the location. But also now I fear the 2-0 if that situation arises because he has a lot of points. So definitely here I want to go for the defender. The defender will protect the young Dryad from efficient removal, and also we give the possible Eist in his hand bad value from the leader because the leader, the Blaze of Glory, into the defender is only 5 points. Definitely, this is my reason behind this. And also, the defender will grant us to go ahead here if we also use the trap, the serpent trap. So here I go for the defender. Get the 7 points, gets the symbiosis proc here for 2 points. Sorry, yes, definitely here the serpent trap is not getting us ahead. But this is the correct move just for the Blaze of Glory and the Eist. We also have this card if he passes, and we have a lot of points still for the third round, which is a short round. So here our opponent could have passed. He decided though to go on and go for the Grammys, and here I fear even more the 2-0. But I have a lot of cards here to maybe protect it. So here I decide to go for the the council, the Zoltan Council, and I also activate this time the trap to get ahead, as you can see here. And now if he has Eist, obviously he can try to get a lot of points. But even the bloodthirst, it's a little bit spooky because he has to top deck something good. He goes for the final bleed, which is I think good for him because he traded one Bear Witcher for a very good gold card. And here I'm evaluating what's best. And actually, I think I want to play the Isengrim Council with the FOV. So I wanted the Isengrim Council to be granted. Even though the Forest Protector in the optimal scenario is the best card because we'll play for more points. So I go for the Forest Protector. And yeah, just go barely ahead with the help of my leader charge. And there is nothing more to say here. I just wanted the FOV in my hand to be able to get the Isengrim Council 100% as a last say, because it's a lot of points. We end up, unfortunately, drawing unfortunately, I mean, we also draw the Isengrim Council, so definitely it was better here to keep the Forest Protector, but you have to play I mean, we have to think also about getting the Isengrim Council there. You cannot play only on the luck of the draw. And here I feel like I must mulligan again because we need the Eithne or the Gord to actually win this game. So we finally get the Eithne, and here there is a couple of nice consideration that we have to do because here we do not only have to play to draw the Eithne to win. There are actually two main win conditions. The first win condition is our opponent played deeply into the round. So he had 0 card in hand. So all the good cards for him are in the deck. But he can also mess up the draws and he can also not find the good cards. And the good cards in here are the Harald, obviously, the Eist, and the Skjordal. This is the nuts for him. Skjordal, Harald, and Eist. So it's also likely that he is missing something. This is our first win condition. And the second win condition that we reached was to draw either Eithne or Gord because we have the Isengrim Council to get the second one. So we played the Eithne. And as you can see here, he starts by playing the nuts. So Harald the cripple, he drew it. So plays Harald, gets the Brockvar Hunter to try to get the Bloodthirst. Fortunately, we can deny it with the Gezras. But unfortunately, Gezras, we do not have any leader charge to protect it. It stays under the Skjordal. So actually, the Gezras exchange even with the Skjordal, which is not very optimal. And now we just go for sure with the FOV because we expect him to have Eist, so we don't want to give him too much value. We go for the FOV and we play most efficient points as possible. So just the Nature's Rebuke, which is 5 points. Here we can also the reason about behind going for the Harald instead of the hunter is that the Harald is actually second. Okay, so here the Harald is 5 points here, and the Brockver Hunter is 4 points, one plus one ping of what we want, where he wants. I go for Harald because this is not granted to be iced, and the Brockver Hunter, even though can ping whatever he wants, will never give him any bloodthirst. So we play on him not having iced, let's say. So if he has iced, the points are pretty much the same. If he does not have iced, but another warrior, let's say, this is 1 point more. And finally, he goes for the nuts. So he played all the best cards that he possibly can draw. He plays iced, go for the combo, get out the Jutta, get the 6 points here, and he is currently up by quite a few. But fortunately, Harald Gord is also tall enough to kick his arse, and we finally get to win by 2 points. Yeah, I think this is a very very nice game. Watch it's peculiar also because obviously usually you don't want to lose the first round against this deck, but we managed to win nevertheless with the proper management of the cards. Whatever. Another thing that I want to point out is that our opponent just chooses one line. He chooses obviously to bleed. That I think it's the optimal way to win for him. But I always think about Skellige players, and you have to bear this in mind. Skellige players will always try to optimize their value from the Eist. So they will always try to get the bloodthirst. Actually, that's something that you should do as a Skellige player, but that's not always the best thing to do in game. So I think here he should have played Iced immediately and go for the kick onto the my my Eighthne. Why? Because this is more points. This is more points because it interrupts all the symbiosis stuff, and also you can see here the ping here would have never happened, so you can get more points elsewhere. So definitely he could have also thought about something else. But yes, he decided to go for this line, which is a little bit more greedy, and it ended up very well for me. And that's it, I think. I hope you enjoyed this analysis of this game, and I will see you soon with more games. Have a nice day.